Hi, Gene Burnett from GeneBurnett.com. Hey, do you need to settle down? Do you need to settle down right now? Are you starting to get anxious and starting to kind of lose your shit a little bit and just getting kind of wired? This video will tell you how to do that, but also tell you how to settle down if you have more time. So if you don't have any time, you just need to settle down right now. One of the quickest things you can do is just bend your knees and find your feet on the ground. You've got to find your feet. Being grounded and settling down is not just a mental thing. It involves your body, and you have to find your feet on the ground. And the easiest way to do that is bend your knees. Not out here, like over your toes. Crease in your hips a little bit. So the knees are bent, but they're not going forward. Does that make sense? See, the knees are bending, but they're not going forward. When you do that, it puts the work of standing into your thighs, where it should be. So you bend your knees a little bit and feel a little bit of a hip crease here. And just bounce. Just bounce like that. Just kind of jiggle like that. So you just feel pressure down, 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 down. It's just a quick way to feel the ground. And you'll feel your thighs right away. You should. And try not to let those knees go out this way. It's back here. You want to feel like the knees stay pretty much where they are when you sink. You're just putting it in your thighs and you're just bounce, 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 bounce like that. Right? And then you do that for, I don't know, a minute, 30 seconds. If you need to really settle down right away, just bounce like that and you'll feel your weight in your thighs. And then a great thing to do is to just take 3 deep breaths. Personally, I don't like to breathe just standing. I like to do something with my hands. So a nice simple one is just to inhale and throw your arms out wide and then exhale. In and out. In and out. You see, I'm doing kind of a little bit of a squat when I close. I'm sinking a little bit. Inhale. Like that. Not this way, but this way. Right? Same bend, same crease. Another way you can do this is circle your hands up over your head and then bring them down like this. That looks like this when they're up there. They're up over your head and then they press down like that. So they're down, up, like that. So what you're doing is you're kind of taking everything up and then asking it to go down. And again, don't push your knees forward out like that. Down into your thighs. It should work your thighs more. So if you need to settle down right now, those 3 things, either in combination, one after the other, or even any one of them, will help, I hope. One of them is bouncing with your hips creased so that you're feeling like you're pulsing into the ground, not, flying around forward and back. Just down, down, down. Circling in and out this way. Notice I'm rising a little when I open, sinking a little when I close. Or the other way, up, down, up, down. Or if you're in public and you can't quite do all that stuff, you can inhale and just take your arms out to your sides a little bit, like you had balloons under your arms and they were getting a little bigger when you exhale and a little smaller when you inhale and then exhale. So inhale, exhale. And again, don't let this go forward. This just tightens everything up. You don't want to be up, you want to be down, and that means a crease right here. So those are quick things you can do. The bounce, the inhale, exhale this way, the inhale, exhale this way. And that 3 breaths thing, it's a cliche, but it really, really works. It helps give you perspective from your feelings. It gives you a little perspective like, hey, I can still control my breathing here. And it just settles you down, helps you feel your feet, helps you feel into the ground, and overall it's more grounding and helps you settle down. So if you have a little bit more time and you wanted to, maybe the settling down impulse isn't as urgent, you have a little more space, you can go a little bit wider and just do the same thing but a little more slowly and with a little more time added. So you sink into your hips again. And again, that sink does not take the knees forward. It's not out here. You shouldn't feel this in your shins. It's right in your thighs, right? So you can study now, if you like, the 4 H's of posture, as I call it. The first H is the horse. So you have a circular sense here. It's the opposite of collapsing in here. There's a roundness in here, and your knees are bent, your feet are parallel like they're in stirrups. So that's the horse that keeps your knees from collapsing, keeps them pointing the same direction as your toes, right? And then the second H is the hips, as I've talked about already several times. Hip crease in the front, not flat here. Crease in the front. It'll put work in your thighs. That might not be comfortable, but that's part of posture, is that this has to get stronger. So you sit into the hip crease and then tuck the hips a little in the back. So the hip crease is about whether your pelvis is forward or back. The tuck is about whether it's tilted forward or back. So we want it kind of level. So hips means crease in front, tuck in back. The third H is the heart. You lift it a little bit. Think of your anatomical heart. It's right in the middle of your chest. We feel our hearts on the left side because the left ventricle's over there, but really the heart's about dead center. So think of the heart lifting, not your chest, but your heart, your inside of your core of your upper body lifting a little bit. And then the fourth H is your head, also a little bit of a lift. So the side view, if I'm just standing here in typical fashion, I'd take my feet apart a little bit, bend my knees a little bit, round the inner thighs. That's my horse. Hip crease, tuck, lift the heart, lift the head, maybe shrug the shoulders back behind a little bit. Front view. So I'd take my feet apart, sit a little bit, round the inner thighs. There's the horse. Here's the hips. Tuck the back down a little bit. That kind of brings the heart back over your center where you want it. Center's down here, heart here. And then lift a tiny bit and lift the back of your head just a little bit. Shrug your shoulders a little bit. There. And then you can play with the breathing exercises a little more. You can do the bounce for sure with your feet a little wider. That's more work. You'll feel that for sure in your thighs, right? Now you can also do this the circle breathing crane exercise where you close as you sit a little bit and rise as you open. And you can try to make that as smooth as you can as you exhale. Inhale. So you can study that a little more and sync the movement up with your breath. So as you're rising and straightening up, you inhale deep as you can comfortably. And as you sink into the hip crease and lean slightly forward, this is kind of like doing a squat, you exhale and inhale. Likewise, the up and down version. You can slow this down. You can take your time. You can make this as smooth as you can. It's like there's a piece of water, like I'm underwater, and there's like a piece of wood up here floating in the water, and I just reached up my hands and put it on top of the wood, and I just push it down through the water till it's down here, and when I let go, it floats back up to the surface, so I'm just going back up there to get it each time. So it's a way of encouraging downward movement in your body. Downward, downward, there. And that can be small down here. It could be really small if you were in public maybe. Or, like I say, if you have a little more time, you can study this a little more. The circle can get gradually higher and higher until finally it's way up overhead and down like that. Exhaling as you sink, inhaling as you rise. So if you have a little bit more time, like you don't need to settle down right now, but you can feel like you're going to need to settle down in a few minutes. So you can take a few more reps. You can go a little bit deeper. You can slow it down a little bit. You can go more gradually. If you know that you are facing a situation where you're likely to get wound up and need to settle down, say in a half an hour, something like that, then more reps. Man, do 10 slow reps of this, and maybe in that, by the time the 20 minutes passes, you will have settled yourself down. But the golden rule is find your feet, bend your legs, get some kind of springiness going on down here. Don't lock your knees, don't be up here. Be down on the ground, right? So, myself personally, I have two ways that I need to settle down. One is what I'm talking about now, up. Things are up, I'm worried or I'm anxious or I'm concerned about stuff, I can feel tension in my upper body. And so I do all the things that I just said. I do just the straight up jiggle bounce if I don't have much time. Or I'll do the downward, the breathing going this way or the breathing going this way. And that can really help settle me down when my energy is going up. I have another thing that happens to me, which is very weird, where it feels like my nervous system is like an inch to my right or an inch to my left. I feel like my nerves and my muscular skeletal systems are on two different pages, and they're not in sync. They're not together, and I'm more clumsy and I'm more butterfingery, and I feel jittery, like I just feel off. And so I realized I need to get my nerves and my muscles and my bones on the same page, right? So one thing that really helps me is something I do that I call foot pulses. And that is where I just rapidly shift my weight back and forth like this. So I find this very steadying. So what I'm doing is I'm firming my core a little bit. I'm firming my legs. I'm not springy on this one. I'm keeping my legs kind of stiff, and I'm squishing my feet into the ground. Like if it was my hands, I'd be going press, 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 press. Not this, but my arms would be a little stiff, and I'd be pressing like that. I'm doing that with my feet. Press, 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 press. So there's real compression in the legs. My core is firm. My whole body is firm, and if I do this for a little while, it's actually a bit of a workout, because really there isn't a muscle in my body that isn't a little bit firm right now. So I'm just back and forth like this. Every one of these is like a step. So I've already walked around the block 3 times as far as my feet are concerned, right? But that pulsing back and forth, the foot pulse, it helps circulate lymph through your body, and it helps circulate venous blood. The heart beats and the arterial blood goes out to the system, but the venous blood has to carry it back to the heart. And it's a long way, and that heartbeat was a long time ago. So, so what helps the blood come back is muscular contraction. That's why it's so good to walk and so good to be physically active and so bad to not be, as you can see around you everywhere in America. So if you want good circulation, you got to press your feet into the ground, and you can do that by walking, or you can do things like this pressure back and forth. And I find when I do that, it kind of steadies my whole body, and it's almost kind of shakes my nervous system into place, and then it's connected to my body, and then all of a sudden I feel like, oh, I'm on the same page again. So if you're too up, I recommend kind of vertical ones. If you feel scattered, maybe try the foot pulses back and forth. And again, if you don't have much time, just do a short burst of those things, da, 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 or back and forth. You know, find your feet, get connected to the ground through your legs, through the ground, and believe it or not, that with a few deep breaths can really shift your perspective. So, if you want to incorporate and develop deeper connection to your body and deeper sense of settling down, there's loads of disciplines that have been going on for a long time that can help you do that. Yoga, meditation, martial arts, as long as it's not a keyed up, beat the opponent kind of martial art. If it's too much of that, I don't know if it's that good for settling down. But if it's not like an adrenalized version of a martial art, if it's slow and the training is maybe traditional and you go through a lot of basic things, Aikido, karate, jiu-jitsu, tai chi, yoga, Chinese kung fu, any of these things, if it's taught as a self-cultivation rather than a fighting system. Nothing against fighting system. I'm a huge fan of that stuff. I like to watch it. I like to think about it. But in terms of settling down, it probably keys you up more than settles you down. So if you do it more traditionally as slow training with self-cultivation as you go, then yeah, sure. Tai Chi is a great one. It teaches you how to settle down in many different positions, in different modes and different ways of moving. So it's a nice way to do that. But so is yoga. So is yoga, tending to your posture and taking more time on individual postures. Meditation of all kinds, any kind of meditative technique, as long as it's not a cult, will help when you need to settle down, because you have posture, you have connection to the ground, whether it's through your sit bones sitting or standing, and you have breathing. And that's really the key to settling down, is to feeling a postural alignment that puts your consciousness down into your legs and into your feet and the lower half of your body, and then breathing to kind of like let things circulate a little bit. It always helps to take deep breaths to help settle down. And then if you want to develop it as as kind of a lifestyle, you got to find an art form that you can study that's physical, that helps you settle down. I personally need to move, so I like physical versions of this. I do all kinds of stuff to settle down. I do Tai Chi, I do non-classical Kung Fu, which is punching pads. I do archery. I even have a curtain in my movement studio downstairs where I just practice throwing because I want to throw without hurting my shoulder. So I've been throwing lately. I have all kinds of fitness tools, all kinds of things that, you know, everything from medicine balls to sort of a bolt cutter apparatus that you use to strengthen your upper body. All this kind of stuff, when it's done in a self-cultivating kind of way, with breath, with presence, with consciousness, helps you settle down, helps me settle down. So I have an error-prone nervous system. It's jittery, it's shaky, it's not coordinated. Any grace or coordination or physicality that I've developed has come from me, from software installed by me through practice. It did not come standard with my body. My body came shaky. So, as I like to say, God punched out at 12:30. Well, she went out for lunch and didn't come back. So I've had to finish that job myself. So yeah, so I find things that help shore up my natural shakiness, and Tai Chi has been the main one. All my other practices are kind of related to Tai Chi. I consider them kind of Tai Chi practices. So if you want to develop a practice of this, you can go much deeper and settle much deeper and much more easily. But it's work. It's a lot of work. You have to devote some time to it on a regular basis and study your own body, which for a lot of people is also a source of tension and pain. But if you don't study these things and release them, first of all, by establishing decent posture, so gravity isn't going through your body sideways, it's going through your body like this. If you don't address your posture, and if you don't address the muscular tension in your body, which good posture supports you in relaxing, if you don't address the connection through the nervous system, through your muscles, through your joints, through your nervous system, if you don't address those things, gravity will just slowly but surely beat the shit out of you until finally you'll be broken and in pain. So, you know, the question is, do you want to feel a little pain every day as you learn to deal with these things, or do you want to feel a lot of pain later? I decided a long time ago I wanted to feel a little pain every day because I didn't like the idea of being in a lot of pain later. And I taught a lot of senior citizens. When I first started Tai Chi, I was teaching seniors. That's mostly what I teach now. It's kind of come full circle. And most of them are doing it because they do not want to be in pain all the time. They're addressing the pains of, you know, the posture that they've had their whole life. So it's a sad fact that when you get older and you're in pain, all your pre-pain days, all your pain-free young days, they don't mean shit. All you have is a life that's got pain in it, and that's your whole life. That other stuff is just memories. That guy's gone. This guy that's in pain here, that's who's here now, and that's your whole life. And so I never wanted that to be my whole life, and I'm still working towards that. I'm only 68 here, you know, so I'm hoping that by continuing to attend to my posture and attend to these things that I've been doing for 40 years, that you know, I'll be in less pain as I get older, because I don't want my whole life to be pain. And so yeah, that's why I do it, and that's why I've been doing it all this time. So you can go to this level if you want to go nuts like I have, or you can just add a little bit. If you just every time you found yourself standing, you just find the horse, find the hips, find the heart, and find the head. Just check in with it for a second, and then just go on with your life. Your body will figure out that you want to keep checking that, and it'll start taking care of it for you. And one day you'll be like the Fonz in Happy Days. You'll go to check, like you're going to comb your hair, and it's already perfect. You're going to be checking your posture, and you go, yeah, I'm already neutral. I'm already in the 4-H's. I'm already here. I'm already sitting. I'm already lifting. Yeah, I got this down. So, okay, so that's my little video on how to settle down when you need to settle down now, when you need to settle down in 5 minutes, and if you want to settle down in 20 minutes, and if you want to just settle down in your whole freaking life. Develop a practice of finding your weight in your legs, your waist and upper body free and relaxed, and lifting slightly over that settled base, and things will be better. So I hope you found this useful. I hope I didn't talk too fast. I wanted to kind of get it all in without going too long, and I did it. I went too long anyway. So see, there you go. I need to settle down. I need to settle down. I'm gonna go take my own advice. All right, thanks for watching, everybody. Take care, and we'll see you soon.